Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do an Empties video. If you're not familiar with what Empties videos are, I basically keep all the products that I finish using, wait till I get like a decent amount saved up, and then I do a video just kind of almost like a little review. But you know, what better review can you give than when you've fully used up a product? And I'll talk about whether I want to repurchase it again or maybe not. And yeah, so there's going to be some makeup, some skincare. There will be a lot of MAC products in this. A little while ago I kind of made it my mission to use up some of my MAC products just so that they don't expire or anything like that. Plus MAC has got the Back to MAC program where you can bring in, I think it's 6 products and then you get a free lipstick or lip gloss. So I'm always like into that. So let's get started. The first product that I'm going to talk about is the Glam Glow Thirsty Mud Hydrating Treatment. It's this one right here. I love Glam Glow. I'm obsessed with their Super Mud, the white bottle. That is basically like a clay mask. It dries, it sucks all the oils out of your pores. Oh, it's like my favorite mask, hands down, ever. I did get this one in a gift set that I bought and tried it out. It's the hydrating version, so it doesn't dry or anything like that. You basically can put it on either like, you know, a fairly thick layer, leave it on for 20 minutes and wash it off, or you can put a really thin layer of this on, sleep in it overnight, and then in the morning wash it off, and your face is so hydrated. I've been really into this lately because usually I am always using my Clinique, I think it's the Acne Solutions Cleansing Foam it's called. I always use that, but I ran out a little while ago and I wanted to use up some of my little samples that I've been kind of accumulating. So I used actually, why don't we just make it a 2-for-1, because this is another thing that I just finished. So I started using the Glam Glow Mud to Foam Daily Clearing Cleanser. This is just like a little deluxe sample that I had. So it's basically like the face wash version of the Super Mud mask that I love. And I really like this. It's supposed to be really good for like preventing acne and keeping your skin less oily, but it's just too drying for me right now. It might be something that is better in the summer, where I'm not as dry. Like, I have very normal skin, so I don't have issues with dry skin typically, but using this regularly is just too drying on my skin. I was initially using it twice a day, and then I was like, I can't do this. So I was using it once a day, and even like still, like the last week or two, my face has been really a lot more dry than usual. So I've been using this mask to kind of counter that, and it works really well. Because I don't have super dry skin to begin with, I don't think I would like go out and individually purchase this again, because it is really expensive. I want to say it's $76 or something like that for this size. But it is a really nice mask, and I definitely, if I get them in the gift sets, I always use them. I like it. It's a good mask. This cleanser I would pass on. It's just too drying for me. Would probably be great for somebody who has really, really oily, acne-prone skin, but it's just too harsh for me. And I've got another makeup product here. So this is the Peter Thomas Roth Glycolic Acid 10% Toning Complex Clarifying Toner. That was a really long name. I've had this for a long time, probably a year or so. It lasted me. I would use it probably 3 or 4 times a week, depending how my skin was. If I was breaking out a little bit more, I would use it more, and if my skin was doing pretty good, maybe a little bit less. But it's got glycolic acid in it, which is good for renewing your skin, getting off that old skin, and kind of bringing out the new hydrated, healthy skin. It's good for preventing breakouts. I really liked it. If you've got dry skin, I think this would probably be too much for you, because it doesn't make me dry, but I can definitely see how it would make people with dry skin just like go crazy. Like, it's a pretty harsh product for something that you can buy without a prescription, but I did really like it. I just haven't repurchased it again because my skin has been really good lately, like acne wise, and it's kind of a pricey product. I think it's $50 or so, but I did really like this toner. So the next thing I've got is just like a little baby deluxe sample of the Sephora waterproof eye makeup remover. It's blue, if you've ever seen it before. I got this in a sample at some point. I actually really like this. I think it works really well at taking off your eye makeup. I use this to take off lipstick if I have it too. It's pretty good. I like it. Eye makeup removers are generally something that, you know, I can use it. Like there's nothing that I'm just like super particular to. I find you get a lot of eye makeup remover samples from Sephora as well, so I feel like I've always got a couple that are available. But I like this one. Does it, you know what, I will say the only thing though is that it doesn't burn my eyes, which is good, but it does make my vision a little bit blurry if I get any of it into my actual eye. So, but I actually like this. And next I've got my two Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealers. If you've watched any of my old videos, I put this in my, basically in my favorites. I think it was in my high-end products worth purchasing. I love these concealers. I've gone through both of them. I had them in light neutral and medium light neutral and would just switch between them depending what season it was and whether I was a little bit lighter or darker. These are really nice. I probably will repurchase these eventually. I'm just trying to get through a couple of my other concealers that I have on the go now that I don't like as much as this one, but I still want to get my use out of them. And I also really want to try the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. So I might not repurchase these for a little while, but these are definitely a great concealer. So next I used up my whole Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I had this in Warm Beige, which was a pretty good shade for me. It was more of a summer shade, but it was really a beautiful foundation. I really liked this. I may repurchase it in the future. It's not like an absolute staple like my Nourish Sheer Glow or anything like that, but I did really enjoy this. It had good coverage, it lasted really well, but my absolute favorite thing about this one was that it mixed really well with other foundations. Like I have some foundations that, like my Remarkable foundation by Marc Jacobs, does not mix well with other foundations. So that really bothers me in a foundation because if I'm kind of getting, this was good for when I was pretty dark, but you know, once I got into fall and I was getting a little bit more pale, I could mix this in with some of my lighter foundations just to keep using it. And I can't do that with my Remarkable foundation. So I did really appreciate that about this foundation, and I liked it. It was a good kind of like, you know, not the best, but certainly not the worst by any means. Next I have a lip gloss. It is so rare for me to actually finish a whole lip gloss. I was like so proud of myself when I finished this. It's so weird because it's like, on one hand, do you really want to like get your money's worth and use the whole product up? And then on the other hand, you're like, oh damn, I spent so much money on that. Now it's all gone and, you know, I'm just going to throw it out. But anyways, this is the NARS lip gloss in Orgasm. This was like so, I literally bought this because it was so beautiful looking. Like, it's so shimmery. It's this nice little like pinky coral shade. It's a good lip gloss. I will say that I feel like there wasn't a ton of product in this. I feel like I did go through it pretty quickly. Let me see if it says it on there. It doesn't even say it on the actual packaging how much is in there. So these are pretty pricey. So if I had to say whether I'd recommend these or not, I would probably say no, just because they're pretty pricey and they're beautiful, but they just don't last very long. I think you can get other lip glosses that are just as pretty for a little bit cheaper price with more product in them. And next I've got my Anastasia Beverly Hills clear brow gel. Yeah, that's what it's called. So back a few years ago I was like, why the hell would I ever need, why the hell would you use brow gel? Like what would be the purpose of that? And then I got really into it. I got really into brow gel and I loved it because I was not taking the best care of my eyebrows, so they're always like overgrown and moving around, and And so I got really like attached to these, and I do like it. It's a really good brow gel, keeps your brows in place all day long, but it doesn't make them like super hard, or they don't get flaky. I've used some brow gels where they get like flaky as they go on and they get drier during the day. So this was definitely a good one. I did try out the colored versions of these. They have them in different shades depending on like the color of your hair and your brows, and I didn't like them. Not nearly as much as I liked this one. I actually ended up returning it. I just didn't love the shade. I just didn't like having extra color put on my brows. I didn't want my brows to look any darker than I had already done them, and the shade didn't seem to match. I couldn't really find a shade that looked really nice with my brows, even though like I've got a super typical, not difficult to match hair color. So it was kind of strange, but I did like this one. I haven't repurchased it though, because now that I have my eyebrows microbladed, I've been taking care of them a little bit better and trying to trim them, and I just don't think that it's a necessity. But if you have got wild brows that are kind of, you know, all over the place, then yeah, this is great. And I've got one more thing in here, and this is the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. This is another one of like the little samples that I got from Sephora. I was really into this mascara for a while. I was using this in between when I had my eyelash extensions and then when I started putting on false lashes every day. And this actually is a great mascara for somebody who doesn't have a lot of lashes and their eyelashes don't like to stay curled. So I was really surprised that I liked the wand, because the wand is really, I typically like to go for very like fibrous, thick brushes, but this one is totally the opposite of that. It's basically just little rubber pieces coming off of it, but for some reason it really works well. Like I totally recommend this mascara. I find it fairly similar to the, what's it called? The Gimme Brow? No. I can't remember what it's called. They're Real Mascara by Benefit. I really liked their Real mascara too, but I could not deal with how difficult it was to take it off at the end of the night. Like, it just made it not worth it for me. So I think this is a good alternative for that. So next I have a bunch of MAC products that I wanted to use up. So the first one is this MAC Prep and Prime highlighter in Radiant Rose. Didn't like this. So first of all, I got it in Radiant Rose, which is like the cool toned shade. I should have got it in the yellow toned one because it just looks strange on me. I'm very, very like warm toned. And then I just didn't really get it. So you're supposed to use this to kind of brighten under your eyes, like, you know, and highlight, but I just couldn't find a real good use for it, because it didn't give me enough coverage under my eyes to use like on its own as a concealer. And then like I just didn't want to add another step into my routine where I'd like put this on first and then take my concealer and go over top of it and blend it out and make sure that they blended well together. Like it just wasn't for me. I used it up basically just to use it up, but I wouldn't repurchase it, and I honestly wouldn't recommend it. The next thing is a MAC paint pot. So this was in Painterly, which is like the more pink shade. I buy soft ochre now because it's more yellow based. But I really like this. I mean, I use paint pots every single day that I do my makeup. I couldn't believe how long this lasted, and I actually got through the entire container. I kept thinking it was going to dry out and I have to throw out half of it, but it really lasted. I mean, I highly recommend these. These are my, hands down, my favorite eyeshadow primer. I use these every day. They are awesome in my opinion. And the next thing I have is my mineralized skin finish. I have this one in medium golden. So I was so sad when I hit pan on this and finished it, because between this and my Studio Fix powder, these are like the only powders basically I wore like the whole, probably last 6 to 8 months. They were kind of like an old discovery. I had them, I'd use them, I put them away. I was using new stuff, and then I like kind of brought these out to start using them up again before they expired. and I like can't believe how beautiful they are. Like, they just give your foundation such a nice finish. They're not too heavy looking on the skin. They don't look powdery, anything like that. And they've got such a nice shade range, Matt, that I just think like I could find exactly the shade that I was looking for and the undertone that I was looking for. And the price for them isn't too bad. I mean, they're, I think, $30-something a piece, which isn't bad like for a face powder in my opinion. And next, sorry, I've got like a little bag with all this stuff in it. I've got the MAC Strobe Cream. I didn't love this either, really. So it's basically like a really glowy primer, moisturizer kind of a deal. It was okay. It didn't like blow my mind. It was very highlighting, like very, very highlighting. Like, I've heard some people say that like you're not really supposed to use this product day to day, that it's supposed to be more for like, you know, photo shoots and camera and stuff like that. But it was okay. I used it up, but it wasn't something I'd repurchase or anything like that. And then I finished up my MAC Studio Fix Fluid. I had this in NC40. This was pretty good. It's not my favorite foundation by any means. It's not even my favorite foundation from MAC. My next one I'll show you I really, really liked, and I'll probably eventually repurchase. This was okay. It's got good coverage to it. It lasted well. Just kind of an in-between foundation for me. And then the last product that I have is the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation. I really loved this. So I got this in NC35. I will say when I went in to get matched, I usually wear NC40 or maybe NC45, but I found that this line ran a little bit dark. So even when the guy at MAC was matching me, he thought I would initially be NC40 and then tried it on me. He was like, no, that looks a little bit dark. So keep that in mind if you are planning to purchase this. But this foundation has got like amazing coverage, lasts all day. I used to love wearing this when I would go in for my 12-hour work shifts because I know that like at the end of the day it would still look great. Didn't make me look too oily, wasn't too matte looking. It was like a really great foundation, and it's for, I think it was $30-something, which really, when you're talking about high-end foundations, is not too bad, because I think usually like on the average you're looking at about $50, maybe like $40-50 for a lot of the foundations that are high-end. So $30-something is not too bad. So I just have one more product that I kind of got like lost in the mix, and it's the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. This was like all the rage when it first came out. It was an awesome liquid liner, and I did really like this liner. You can see that it's got like a super fine tip, and it's not too stiff, but it's not too, like, it's not gonna fray like the bristles when you use them. I can't stand when I have an eyeliner and I go to, like, you know, create a line and it starts fraying and getting wider than it's supposed to be. This is like nice and precise, but still has enough give to it. It looks really beautiful. It's nice and dark and matte. I really liked it, and it lasted me such a long time. I definitely had this longer than like the 6-month expiration date on it, but it lasted me so long I couldn't believe it. And even now there's still product in it, but A, it's too old really to use, and it's B, it started to like fade in intensity a little bit. So I've been using the Stila, I want to say it's the Stila waterproof eyeliner or something like that. I also really like that one. I find these very like comparable, the two. But I did really like this liner. It was really great. So those are all my empties I've collected in the last little while. I'll continue to collect more as I finish more products and share them with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!